Hello, welcome to today's session. We are currently in phase 2, Linux core, and we will be talking about package management, apps, sources, and software version. So the story so far, this is the tickets that we got today. We're standardizing our dev service. Every engineer needs to be able to install, remove, upgrade, and audit software confidently and know where packages actually come from. We also need someone to investigate why one of our servers has an outdated version of a tool that is causing compatibility issues. That is our ticket today. So for this is what we'll be learning. And of course, I'll be dropping the link to this repo in the comments. So what is a package manager? In Windows, you normally just download a file from a website and run it and hope that nothing malicious is contained within the file. But in Linux, this is managed differently. A package manager does that downloading, tracking, and updating. It also verifies the package to be sure it hasn't been tampered with using cryptographic signatures. Okay? And for Ubuntu flavor of Linux, the package manager is called APT, Advanced Package Tool. So for app, we have apt-get, and we have DPKG, that's for Ubuntu. So this DPKG, that's Debian, D stands for Debian package, is the lowest level tool. Actually is being used to do, it can still be used these days to do things like manual download of maybe a file or repo that's not found in the Ubuntu repo by default. And apt-get is usually found in script, is the older version. The latest version is apt. So you see commands like which we've used previously, where you see something like sudo apt install, sudo apt upgrade, just like when you spin up your EC2 on virtual server on Amazon, on AWS, that's usually the first command to run. So apt, that's the package manager for Ubuntu. Okay, so a repo is a server that hosts packages. Just like I'll be dropping this file inside my repo, which you can clone to follow the steps in this lab, in this session. So that's the way you have repo, and the system, your local system has a list of repos that is stored, and this you can find in etc sources.list and also in this location. So let's check one of these out. So we go ls, which is list, etc apt sources. Let's check out the folder, and we see that I have, let me run this folder first. So you see the Azure CLI links to GitHub, HashiCorp, NodeSoft. These are things that are previously installed on this system. Yours will definitely be different. So this repo is a list of repos that the system trusts that's currently inside my system. So when I run things like app update, my system contacts this repo, every repo on this my list, and downloads an updated catalog of what is available. It doesn't install it, it just updates it. And that's why when you, like I said earlier, when you spin up an EC2, you run something like sudo apt updates, and then you write, you run sudo apt upgrade, okay? And then sudo apt install to actually install. So let's get on with the lab. So I've already, you can also run this command for part 1. Let's look at our sources. So we can start the com file there. App sources list. So in it, the repos that we've been talking about. So we already did this one that showed us the list of other repos, additional source file. Okay, so this is a file that will just open anything that's hashed out. It's not, it's just a comment. So this is what we're looking at. These are repos, right? Okay, so it says this file tell app where to look for packages. Every line contains roughly this format, which as you can see, that's what we're seeing here. We have the focal universe, we have the focal object name restricted, and that is what we also see here. Okay. So Debian there, that's the Debian package. So this file tells app where to look for packages. So when you run things like sudo apt install nginx, this is where it first of all checks before it goes out. If it's not available, it will give you a message that tells you that it's not available, and probably also give you another command to run to get what that particular package. Okay, so let's refresh our package catalog by running clear the sudo apt update. Also, as for my password, sudo is the power user. So super user sign on. So usually when you use sudo for the first time, you will ask for your password. Okay, so it says reading package list, which was that list we opened up, done, reading status information done, all packages are up to date. So all the packages, so these are the packages that we saw in that file, and those are two files that we checked out. Those two, so they went through all of that and saying it's up to date. So now let's see what is available to upgrade without actually installing anything. So based on this previous message, I'm sure this will probably show us nothing because he's saying everything is up to date. Okay, so listing done. So you see, we didn't cause anything because every package there is up to date. But in some systems, in yours, it might be different. It will probably give you a list of, if this was an EC2, it usually gives a list of package to upgrade, and then you can run the sudo apt upgrade that's why flag just tells it to okay everything, so it doesn't give you back a prompt asking you yes or no, whether I should do this, yes or no. So that's what the dash y flag does. So let's still run that. So you see zero upgraded, zero installed, zero to remove, and zero not upgraded. Because everything is up to date. Back to this very first message to give us here. Okay. So let's move on to the next step. So the difference between this is also listed out in this file. Then part 3, let's search and install a package. So let's search for a package before installing apt this one. Okay. So that's quite a lot. So let's use the next command to type the command, to type it so that you will make it easier to read. So I think that I type it less. Okay. Then we clear our screen. Okay, so let's get detailed information about a specific package before installing. So JQ. So JQ is a tool that works with JSON data. The same way you use something like grep for regular text, that's the same way you use JQ. for JSON data. So this I already have installed on my system before now. So you see the package actual JQ, package JQ, the version is right there, and all the other information about this. So this is JQ can mangle data format that you have into the one that you want with very little effort. Okay. So now let's install JQ. So for your system, if you don't have it already, this command will definitely go ahead and install it for you. So sudo apt install JQ y flag. Okay, so because I already have it, that didn't take time. So it says JQ is already the newest version, which is 1.6. Okay. But in your case, it might be different. So now let's find out the version, JQ version. This command goes the same way for any other package you want to install. So JQ version 1.6, just the same way you can check the version for any other package that's on this system. Okay, so let's try one. Let's try Docker version. Okay, so this is saying the command Docker cannot be find a file here, so probably I don't have Docker installed. Let's try something. So here Terraform is installed. So you see Terraform version 1.14. So you say your version of Terraform is out of date. The latest version is you can update by downloading from here. Okay, but I don't want to do that. But yeah, so this now with this, you can actually install, I can upgrade my version of Terraform. Let's move on to part 4. So part 4, let's keep every application installed on this system. For that, we are going to run apt this. That's going to be quite a lot. So these are all the packages I have installed on my system. That's quite a lot of them. Let's clear out. So let's run that same command, but now we are going to type grep engines. I don't think I have that. Okay, so I don't have that. Let's try another. So now let's check if this package is installed. So let's see how this. To do that, we're going to use the Debian package DEAG flag to grab curl. Okay, so we are looking for curl packages, a specific package. So here you see all these packages that we showed us right here as curl in it. The CURL. Okay, so now let's find what package the specific command came from. So let's find this particular curl command. Which package did it come from? So for that, we use DEAG-S, which is search, and then we put the ampersand sign, which curl. Okay. The unit. Okay, so it's given us the package, the USR /bin/curl. So that's the package that the call command came from. Okay, see, I'm typing out all the commands because it's helping us to build muscle memory, which you need as a cloud engineer. Okay, so I made an error, but it still gives us the same USR/B/core. Okay, so now it's telling us the package from where this call command came from. It's this package right here. Okay, so let's move on to part 5. How to remove and purge packages. So first of all, let's install a package just for practice. We are going to take it off after the practice. Let's install a package called cowsafe. Is it one package? Cowsafe. So let's wait for that to install. It's a simple form package. And now let's test it. The cowsafe, and then you put quotation marks. So hello from VOH. Adding. There you go. So is this kind of like the cow talking? It says hello from VOH Academy. You can say a lot of I am highly you talk here. Yeah. So it's just cow say, and then you write whatever you want the cow to say. Okay, so now let's remove it. To do that, you go sudo apps remove cow say dash y. Okay, so if you use the remove command, you only remove the configuration file. But if you want to completely remove everything, including the configuration files, you're going to use the purge. You use purge command instead of remove. So let's use purge. Okay, so it takes off everything, but most times you just run the remove command. That still leaves still leaves the configuration file in the system. And those are the things that occupy space sometimes. So that I also noted the difference here. The difference between running the remove command and using purge instead. The purge does a full clean removal. Okay, so now let's clean up unused packages. Sometimes there are dependencies that we leave behind that's no longer required. The packages are no longer needed by anything, and they pile up. So to remove those, we run sudo apt auto move y. So these are some of the commands that you should normally use to clean up your system. So sometimes I run these commands. So if you notice there's nothing here to remove or clean up, you can also remove entire cat. Cat is where when you download a file, it's and then you install it, it saves in cache. Like we're gonna do one, I think down here when we download one a folder. A GitHub CLI folder, just like when you download the AWS CLI and then you install it. Most times we forget to delete the download folder or file that you actually downloaded from the internet. So once you install that particular package or the tool, you can just delete the downloaded folder, but most times they're actually heavy and they just stay on the system. So to clean those up, you run the sudo apt clean command, which I have sometimes run on my system. So most likely this will come back clean. Yeah. Okay. So now sometimes, like this is actually the real ticket now, because we were told in this session, the ticket we were given is that we need to maintain a particular version of a package. because if every time you run sudo apt upgrade, sometimes it goes in and changes the version of a particular package, right? So that change could cause an issue. So this is actually a problem for me. So sometimes you need a tool to not auto upgrade because a newer version breaks compatibility with something because there might be another tool or something else that's dependent on this particular tool not being changed. So let's say you use version 1.6 and then this 1.6 is actually what works. So when you now did upgrade or auto upgrade, this 1.6 probably went to 1.9, which is not compatible with whatever process or system or package that was attached to it or that was using it. And that causes compatibility issue. So in order to keep that version in place, this is what we are practicing because that's what our ticket actually says we should do. And that is for the tool JQ, which remember I said it's JSON is a JSON tool. So let's see the version, the current version of this tool. So we do apt hash policy JQ. So it's telling us this is the version 1.6. So now to prevent this 1.6 from ever changing, we put a hold in place. We use apt mark hold to put a hold in place. So we can go apt mark. So we say set on hold. Now, okay, so we've set this 1.6 on hold. Now, let's confirm the hold. So one apt mark show hold. So this is supposed to show us all the tools that are on hold. So for this system, it's only JQ. Let me turn off screen. So bring that up here. So it's only JQ that I currently have on hold, right? So meaning that that version 1.6 is what is going to remain on that particular version. So, but this is just for testing, right? So let me remove the hold. And to do that, I simply run sudo apt mark on hold. JQ. Also hold on JQ. All right. Now, part 8. Let's do a manual install using the .dev install. So let's go ahead and install this particular GitHub CLI, and we'll be using that in a subsequent session in phase 3. So it's okay to install on your system. So to do that, you're going to use this command call -L, capital L means location. So in case there are redirects, maybe it's not found in a particular site, if there's a redirect, just follow it. That's what this -L does. And then -O says output. So when you download it, save it in this file, /temp/gh.dev. So that's what this command is doing. And this is the HTTP is of course the URL of where we need to download this file from. So we download it. And then you're going to use this command to install what we download. Because remember, if we run ls/emp gh.dev, you see this is the file. This whatever that was in here that we grabbed We put it in here, right? So now we just download it. We just install it because we already downloaded it. So in your scenario, in case you see any dependency error, you can run this command to fix it. If not, let's verify the version of the GitHub CLI that we downloaded. There you go, 2.55. Because if you look here when we're downloading it, it says 2.55. So that's the version that we downloaded. Okay, so now you see where the dpkg command comes in handy, where we need to grab it, download the file manually without using the repo that's existing on the system. So for part 9, you're going to document the investigation, all that we did. So you click this file and just update it, what you did, what you learned, and how you did it. So let's go back to our ticket and see. So remember the ticket says we need to we need someone to investigate why one of our servers has an outdated version of the tool that is causing compatibility issues. And the way we fixed that was to do the hold, put the hold on JT to make sure that the version doesn't change, it remains the same to avoid the compatibility issue. Thank you so much for watching and stay lavish.